Okay, look, we're going to drop this now. Very important. Drop it from a height. 1, 2, 3.
You break it.
I love it the way it just busts like that.
Bust.
I believe that cooking great food can be just as much fun as eating it. More. And to prove it, I'm taking the dishes we most love
Oh, look at that.
and going all out to make them even better.
I'm excited, dude.
Me too.
These are recipes made to make you happy.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
From classics we've grown up with
Oh, my.
to proper feasts for special occasions.
Absolutely gorgeous. Milk, in you go, big boy. Just a little bit. Stop.
Because once in a while, we all deserve a treat. So welcome to the wonderful world of comfort food.
Will you put this on the specials board, Dad?
I will. I'm going back to do it now.
Are you?
In this show, I'm taking on 4 comfort food classics. My best ever burgers.
It's all right to eat messy, yeah?
You're supposed to eat messy. What are you, a wuss?
A Mexican breakfast to wake up your taste buds.
Woo! Yeah.
Luxurious macaroni cheese made with lobster.
Oh, my Lord. It's so good.
And a pavlova full of pink marshmallow.
Buddy, you're doing ever such a good job.
I can't talk about eating.
All you've done since we've started this recipe is eat.
We all love a burger, and this time, I reckon I've cracked the ultimate one. My friend Christian is an expert in all things barbecue, so he's come to help me cook it and eat it.
The whole world of burgers has gone crazy. It's gone crazy.
It has.
What was good 5 years ago is now average.
It's gone insane, really.
And what is good now will probably get outdone next year. So my job and Christian's job today with you is give you the kind of points to incredible. I'm talking about the flavour, the pickles, the bun, the juice. Do you like it kind of like all held together, or do you like it kind of steamy and juicy and sort of fall in between your fingers?
Falling apart, man. You want that juice to break down and just kind of get all, you want it dripping off your fingers.
Honestly, burgers aren't just burgers anymore. There's a new level set. So first up, let's talk about the meat. Now, this is chuck steak. Go to your butcher's and ask him for chuck steak. It's got incredible flavour, an amazing mix of fat, isn't
It's the classic meat for a classic burger.
it? And notice, no flavouring, no herbs, no seasoning. We're treating it like a steak. Divide it into 4. So that's 800 grams here, that's 200-gram patties. You want to make your patties just a bit bigger than the bun because you will get some shrinkage.
And you want to press it enough just so it holds together, but you don't want to over press it where it becomes too dense. You want holes in there so when that fat kind of breaks down, it just flavors all that beautiful meat. There's my imperfect perfection right there, a little bit of jagged.
So kind of perfect is not perfect. Imperfect
It's
is
perfect.
But of course, it's not just about the burger. You need all the extras. I'm making 2 pickles. One, simply with a few crinkle-cut gherkins and a little bit of chilli.
The chilies in there are kind of a nice bonus.
Plus a second with finely sliced red onion, white wine vinegar, and a pinch of salt. Just let them marinate.
Pickles are kind of important, aren't they?
They are.
You know, that sweetness, that saltiness, that tang.
This is the taste of my summers in Iowa. My grandma used to do this with onions, that kind of vinegar, and cucumbers.
What was your childhood then? Around a barbecue?
It was around a barbecue. My dad taught me to barbecue from the age of 8, and we would just do this. Burgers and the onions
Steaks.
and the vinegars and steaks.
Chicken.
And make his grandpa's secret sauce. Are you doing a secret sauce?
Well, I'm going to do a bit of a J sauce.
Okay.
This is basically harking back to days in the 80s when I was living in the pub. So I've got 2 heaped tablespoons of mayo, 1 tablespoon of ketchup. Worcestershire sauce, important. Just a little swig or 2 of that. There is a new discovery, Tabasco, but Chipotle
Yeah.
Tabasco. Okay.
It's smoky, kind of hot flavor, man.
Oh my God.
I love this
The
stuff.
chipotle rocks. And then a little swig, a little tinkle of bourbon. Okay. You could use brandy, but bourbon feels good.
That was a tinkle of bourbon right there.
Was that all right?
That was a good amount, man.
Sometimes it's nice to put a little lemon juice in there to give it some tang. Sometimes you can steal a little bit of vinegar from over there, bro. Go on.
Yeah.
And just a tiny dribble of your onion vinegar. I like it. I like it.
It's good.
I'm gonna hit it up with more Tabasco.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, that's what it needs.
One of the things that really we learned from American fast food, they'll have iceberg through that. I've been really anti-iceberg for a long, long time.
Thanks for coming back.
I've come back. Bit of compost.
You're welcome, Earth.
When it kind of gets dressed in that, the crunch does go, but not totally. It's kind of like half soft, half crunchy. And this, for me, is really the perfect base to kind of welcome the burger.
I'm nicking this, dude. This is a really good
Yeah,
recipe.
you happy about this?
Yeah, really good. Let's do it. Let's get grilling.
Pat the burgers with oil, then season with salt and pepper.
And actually, 2 at a time is a nice number, I think, if you're going to really take care of it. You can see already, like, the fat starting to cinder off, hit the coals, and that's sort of pelting smoke back up and kissing the meat. This is what barbecue's all about.
Yeah, it is.
Whether it's charcoal or wood.
Well, there's flavor in the fuel down there. There's flavor in the wood and the charcoal. So there's all these layers of flavor, not just the meat and the seasoning, but the fuel.
And you wouldn't get that from a fry pan.
No.
Or an oven or a grill.
Or gas grill.
Absolutely. Is that your enemy, gas grill?
Man, that's sacrilege. It's like, why come outside?
There's kind of an interesting procedure that can give you an incredibly succulent, juicy burger. You go and get the American-style mustard, and we go get a paintbrush, sear one side of the burger, and then we turn it. And then that seared side, we brush, and then we sear the mustard seared side, and then we brush the other side. So we do 2 normal cooks, and then 2 mustard cooks, and that creates a pretty special burger. This is gonna create a lovely, sweet and kind of hummy, gorgeous mustard bark. So now we just gotta wait, guys.
That's cool.
My friend, can you possibly pass me the bacon? It ain't bacon unless it's smoked bacon. For me, that's like the best sight in cooking, when the fat's doing that and you just know you're caramelizing and creating flavor. Sometimes good things can't be rushed, you know? Now, I've got some cheese. So I just want 2 nice slices. I'm using red Leicester.
I dubbed thee King of the Grill.
This British cheese has a lovely nutty flavour, but you can use any cheese you fancy as long as it's a good tasty melter.
This is a really important stage now in the perfection of the burger. Now, just look around. We got burger, it's on its last stage, okay? And Christian's spinning a bowl. And now,
Oh, it's like a,
we put the dome over.
yeah.
Okay? So we're trapping smoke. Also, this is gonna get hot. Like, I can't put my hand on it anymore, okay? So that's turning into an oven. And it's just gonna let that cheese just kind of like melt, just sag. But also, look, the bacon's looking very, very beautiful. So I'm just gonna pop this little dome off.
It's already starting to do its magic,
You can see
man.
it's starting to do its magic, and I'm just gonna pop the bacon on top.
Seriously, that is gorgeous.
In that pan is amazing smoky bacon fat.
You're not going there with the
I am.
rolls, are you?
I am.
You are next level, bro.
This is a brioche bun. Nice, soft, spongy to sort of suck up all the juices that rest out of the burger.
Look at it, perfect. Dude, a tear trickles down the side of my cheek right now. That's how happy I am. Tears of joy.
Now for that special moment, the build.
The sauce and the lettuce. That's the first welcoming to the party. The thing is, I want to put more, but you've got to restrain yourself when it comes to the perfect equation of the perfect burger. So just take it to the edge.
It's the right balance, man. You want everything to sing. You want all, it's a band. That burger is a band, and you gotta have the drummer, you gotta have the guitar player, and that's the lead singer right there.
The mustard bark, zingy, crunchy pickles, tomato ketchup on that toasted brioche dipped in bacon fat. It's all those little details that make this burger perfect.
I like how that red Lobster is just properly just coated it. That little gap right there with the cheese coming through, that little cavern of cheese just going, oh.
I think we have to just eat it now.
Okay.
Can I get you prepared?
Yeah, prepare me for the ridiculousness that I'm gonna feast upon.
Okay, arms up.
Are you excited?
Are you?
I'm excited, dude.
Me too.
3, 2, 1, mange. Oh, wow.
It's so good.
That is amazing. Bacon just sends it off. And then you can taste that kind of, the mustard goes a bit sweet in there.
It's all right to eat messy, yeah? I mean,
You're supposed to eat messy.
you don't want to have a polite burger.
No.
That's boring.
What are you, a wuss?
For selected recipes, please go to jamieoliver.com/comfort food. Next, my favourite Mexican breakfast, Huevos rancheros.
I love the way this little buffet of nice things comes together. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and then you have that. Boom.
Plus a very special macaroni cheese with lobster. And my dreamy marshmallow pavlova.
Hope you're ready for this, ladies.
You're nearly my favourite son-in-law now.
Comfort food is a pleasure to eat and a pleasure to cook, even first thing in the morning.
Should we see? Look at that! Are they still warm? Can you hold it like treasure?
The Mexican breakfast I want to show you now works for me every time if I want to kick my day off with a smile.
Huevos rancheros. Okay, this is one of my favourite little brunches, breakfasts, snacks, any time of the day. Frankly, it's gorgeous. It means ranch-style eggs.
Huevos rancheros is a dish that comes from rural Mexico. Each ranch prepares their own one slightly differently. But at its heart always lies beautifully cooked eggs, a spicy salsa, and soft tortilla. Back at my ranch, this is the way that I like to do it.
So we've got tomatoes, we've got avocado, we've got a chili sauce, we've got black beans, and we've got tortillas and the eggs, okay? But actually, even though it's all about eggs, the eggs happen at the end, the last minute, so they're beautiful and perfect. So, first up, tomatoes. I love to do this in summer when tomatoes are good. Have a look at these bad boys. Down the farmers' markets, in the supermarkets, have a little sniff about. You will see beautiful beef tomatoes, plums. You know, look at that lovely orange tomato there. So exciting. I want to do nice, chunky 1 centimetre slices. So just take the end off like that. Just because it's breakfast doesn't mean it can't be super artisan and exciting. Just beautiful. So I'm simply gonna whack these on a plate, mix it up a little bit. Let's kick the day off being optimistic and sprightly. Look at those colours, yes. All I wanna do is get some nice sea salt and from a height, just season it. Just a little bit of pepper as well and some olive oil. It will help the tomato be the very best it can be.
Tomatoes love oregano, so I'm adding some fresh from my garden. Dried tastes different, but just as good.
If you smell it, it's just that beautiful, savoury flavour. And I think salt, pepper, oil and oregano just helps tomatoes kind of like be themselves, you know? It's just comfortable, delicious flavour. So that's the first bit done. Very simple. Next up, we're going to do a naughty little salsa. Now, I say naughty because it's unbelievably simple. It's kind of a cheat, but it's delicious. It really kind of revives the spirits, gets you really energized and excited. So if you go into any corner shop and any supermarket, you're going to find these little pickled jalapenos. And you'll know them from ordering your pizzas, you know, these little bad boys here. And they're lovely. Woo! Yeah. Wah! Yes.
Put the chilies and half the liquid into a blender, along with a small handful of fresh coriander. Then blitz.
And that's it. That's literally it. A really fragrant, pungent, delicious sauce. I'm just going to pour that into a bowl. And I'm just going to fold just a little extra virgin olive oil through it. I just find it gives it a nice little shine, and it just kind of connects all the flavours a little bit more.
So tomatoes are prepped, salsa is done. Now for the next element in this epic Mexican feast.
Black beans, you can get them in all the supermarkets, corner shops. All I want you to do is just drain them and make them nice and individual like this. Look at the colour. You know, there's not much food in the world that's black. Do you know what I mean? It always kind of gets you thinking, a little bit mysterious, a little bit exciting, but those beans are beautiful, really good for you, fantastic protein, and you can go mushy, you can go comforty, or in this case, I want to change it up a bit and go quite crispy. So I've got a pan over here, it's on a medium heat, it's been preheated, and I'm just going to go in with a little oil and a little pinch of cumin. I want to have a little bit of funk there, do you know what I mean? A little flavour humming. And then very simply going to go in when that's nice and smoky with the black beans. One layer. And they'll start to puff, like kind of sugar puffs, you know what I mean? They'll like explode. The skins will go crisp and the sort of inner fluffiness will just kind of come out. So it's quite nice for sprinkling on salads, you know, on dishes like this, because this is all about textures. I might just put a little bit of seasoning here. You can hear it, listen. Look at that. And notice I haven't touched them. Don't shake them. Just leave them, but don't burn them. Here we go. So pour your beans. Look at the colours. Reds, greens, blacks. You know this is going to be exciting. Next up, we're going to do the avocado. I'm going to go for some nice ripe ones, 2 or 3. Take the little pip out, run the knife carefully around the avocado and twist them like that. Little tip, get a nice big spoon under the avocado and just pull it out in one nice piece, just like that. It's almost like a perfect ice cream scoop. I'm just going to cut each half into quarters. You know, it's quite nice to take time doing this. It's no rush.
The avocado just needs a touch of lime.
Have a little squeeze up. And then just whack these on the plate. I've eaten this dish, Huevos rancheros, in hotels, in restaurants. I've had it in little trucks, little shacky holes in the wall, made by Americans, Mexicans, you know, and they're all a little bit different. It's what's available nearby, what's seasonal. But kind of for me, I've picked up from all of them just sort of joy, excitement, colour, textures. So just going to finish that with some coriander leaves on the top.
Next, the tortilla.
You can make your own. These are shop bought and they're really easy to get hold of. I like to crispen it up on one side only.
In less than a minute, it's ready.
Look how soft it is here. It's like a little pillow, soft and spongy. Love that, mopping up all the goodness. And then here, have a look at that. Crispy and golden and gorgeous. Now, while it's at that sweet spot, then we go into just a regular mug. We just use our hand and we just jab it in there. And you can kind of force little wrinkles like that, like little pleats. And you just leave it, go on to the next one. So over the course of a couple of minutes, you can create a whole load of warm tortillas that are kind of set in a kind of cup shape. So if I knock this out now, it just stays like that. It's like a little rose. I'm not trying to be chefy because it ain't chefy. It's about fun. That's the thing about food, isn't it? You have a little play, you muck about a bit. It's exciting, yeah.
Finally, the star of the dish, the eggs. Huevos rancheros can come with eggs cooked in any style, but for me, they've got to be scrambled.
Lovely free-range eggs. When it comes to scrambled eggs, there's the European style, which is the way I was brought up. Little curds of scrambled eggs with lovely little bits of kind of custardy eggs around it. The French style was with a whisk in a bowl over sort of simmering water, and that was sort of much looser and wetter, and you get that in restaurants. We ain't going there. This is more kind of American style. It's fantastic. It's quite quick, and it's like lovely little sheets, you know, silk sheets with delicate custard around it. I love it. It's really, really nice. So in a pan, we've got it on a medium heat. We're going to go in with a knob of butter. I'll add a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to put a little pinch of salt into the eggs and have a whisk. And then in we go, straight away. Get yourself a little spatula like this, and you'll see, can you see it kind of cooking here? And I'm going to take it in and then just throw it in. See that little sheet there? That's what we want. Little sheets of eggs surrounded by uncooked eggs. You know, we can move it around. Then, as it gets sort of half cooked, I'll get some cheddar and just get your knife in and do little bombs, just little nuggets in and around, like that. And those little semi-melted bombs of cheddar cheese going into your scrambled eggs are going to be joyful. And that's the eggs done. Take them off the heat, right? Remember, look, it's still quite loose. Have a look at that. So it's kind of like half omelette, half scrambled eggs. And as we put it onto a plate here, look how loose they are. Beautiful. That is a scrambled egg to die for. So guys, that is Huevos rancheros, ranch-style eggs, crispy black beans, avocado, we've got the salsa, the tomatoes, the tortilla. Anyone that walks down to this in the morning is going to be well chuffed. Let's put it together. In those eggs are those lovely little bombs of cheddar. And I love the way this little buffet of nice things comes together. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes, and then you have that. Boom, colours, excitement. It's not about rolling it up or burritos or nothing like that. It's about tearing and mopping. And you just get these mouthfuls that have got a little bit of everything in them, you know? And it just wakes you up. Flavour, comfort. So good.
For selected recipes, please go to jamieoliver.com/comfort food. Still to come, my deluxe version of a comfort food favourite.
Lobster mac and cheese, come on!
And the most gooey, gorgeous marshmallow pavlova.
Beautiful, fluffy, cloud-like, spongy goodness.
We all need a treat sometimes. So in this series, I'm taking on our favourite dishes and making them as delicious as possible. Next up, it's a comfort food classic, but with a luxurious twist.
Mac and cheese, oh my God, it's a great, great dish. People love it all over the world, but it's time to take it up to a new level. Not just a great cheese mac and cheese. We're gonna do lobster mac and cheese, oh yeah. Let's do something new, different, exciting. Yes, lobsters are expensive, but no more expensive than a fillet steak. And actually, this one lobster here will give beautiful flavour for up to 6 people. This is going to be an absolute showstopper.
My lobster is going to boil with some herbs for 8 minutes.
Just tie them up. I've got them on a little string here. If you put that into your water, that will flavour the water beautifully as that lobster cooks.
So I've got time to get on with my sauce.
It's a very straightforward recipe. It starts with 2 lovely white onions. Finely chop them. I think macaroni and cheese is just a sort of nice, stodgy comfort food that you can have any time of the year. But by making it sort of seafood and lobster macaroni and cheese, there's an elegance there. It's much more grown up. It's exciting. You can have it with a lovely bottle of wine and a lovely green salad, and it just makes it more of a feast. Nice big knob of butter. Give it a nice little stir up with a good pinch of salt. Just finely slice 4 cloves of garlic. You can see it's just softening up nicely. We want to build in some links to the seafood, okay? So first up, we're going to go in with some anchovy. Now, if you don't like anchovy, don't sort of think, oh, I'm not going to like this. You will like this. You're not going to taste anchovy. It's just an incredible seasoning. So 2 fillets of anchovy, look at these. Absolutely beautiful. It will just disintegrate. It will give an incredible depth of flavour to the whole dish.
Add half a teaspoon of cayenne and a pinch of saffron.
Which, of course, is a really exciting, luxurious flavour.
Cook it down for a couple of minutes and then add a glass of nice dry white wine and completely cook away. Before stirring in 50 grams of plain flour.
And then we're simply going to stir that in, so that's kind of mimicking a French roux. And then I'm going to add just over 1 litre of milk. You can see it's thick now. And of course, that thick sauce is going to stick around your beautiful macaroni. Just add 2 nice teaspoons of English mustard. This really works with seafood, and it really works with cheese. And it's a classic flavour from that old lobster dish, lobster thermidor. And we're going to simmer that just for 10 minutes to let all the flavours really kind of mix together. So I'll let that do its thing, and it's magic. So,
if you're not confident on how to kill a lobster, then ask your fishmonger for help.
There's our little friend. Changed colour and looks amazing. And we can get rid of our herbs, which have done their job. Now, this water, let's not waste that. It's had herbs in and it's had lobster. And it's delicious. It's really delicious. So I don't want to waste any flavour there. So I'm going to cook my pasta in there. You can absolutely use macaroni, but I want to do posh macaroni. This is called cavatappi, and it's curly-whirly cuckoo. It's got holes in it, the same size as macaroni. We're going to go in with about 400 grams. That's enough for 6 people. And it's just a bit more exciting, but you absolutely use whatever pasta makes you happy. But the lovely thing is this pasta is going to start sucking up all those beautiful flavours. 8 minutes, which is perfect time for me to break down this lobster. Cooking the lobster and breaking it down is the same whether you're doing it for this lovely lobster mac and cheese or even a lovely sort of salad or, you know, lobster with mayonnaise, or you want to break it up and put it with some pasta. So it's the same principle no matter what. We're going to take the claws off. Really simple, just twist it out. Second one, just twist it out. Okay, got nice meat in there. Then you've got your tail here. So we're just going to literally twist like that, and out it comes, hot and steamy. So the really tasty stuff is in the head. So I'm going to just shake it out, and it probably looks disgusting, but it tastes incredible. This is like the big kind of stock cube flavour that we love. So we're going to shake as much as we can out of this. It'll disintegrate just like the anchovy and give you the most amazing flavour. Do not waste that. Then we're off to the kind of more conventional white meat. So with the tail, it's pretty simple. What we do is we want to crush it inwards. So we use our hand to push this and this together. So we just go in like that. And then you just turn it around and you crack it out like this. And then what that does is it just releases this lovely meat right here, you can just literally grab hold of it, so the whole tail will come out like that. So there's your tail. We'll keep this for later as well. Even if you just cook it like that and put butter on it, that will be the best lobster of your whole life. It's always good practice just to feel through the meat first and just to check there's no splinters of shell, because you don't want to upset anyone. Next up, we've got these lovely claws. We're just going to disjoint it, crack it out. You can do that just by using your own brute force. Just like that. The meat on the claw, it's like the difference in texture between breast meat of a chicken and thigh meat. You know, the claw and the arm meat is just much more tender, and the tail meat's more kind of just, yeah, more firm, I guess. Have a little pick around, and you can push it through like that, every last bit. So we're in a good place now, guys. Just gonna mix the sauce up. I'm gonna turn it off, no more heat. Look at that. Amazing golden colour. Go in with all this lovely lobster meat. And of course, if you've got scallops, prawns, a little bit of squid, you can add that at this point, and then that can go into the mac and cheese as well, and it's a different level. Stir that through.
Next, the cheese.
I've got some Gruyere cheese right here, which is a wonderful melter, and some cheddar. The Gruyere's just got that beautiful kind of stretchiness that you get from it, but it's also got a lovely tang to it, so it works well with the cheddar. And then Parmesan, that has that ability just to season things gorgeous. So France, Italy, and England all working together in a beautiful way. So I want about 70 grams of the Gruyere and cheddar, and then sort of 40 to 70 grams of Parmesan. Just add it to taste, though. This is what makes a mac and cheese a super mac and cheese. This blend of sort of thought-out cheeses. And remember, this is off the heat. We don't want to be boiling stuff away. It just won't be good for anything. Now, we've done that. Let's have a little taste. This is kind of your last opportunity to get seasoning. Oh, my Lord. It's so good. Wowzers. The lobster, the flavour it gives is just sweet and just taste of the seaside. It's unbelievable. And, of course, the cheese. It's absolutely phenomenally just, that's how good it is. I've got the pasta, and I love the idea of taking something quite student-y and comforting and turning it into something quite restaurant-y and sort of posh. Imagine going for a first date. What do you want for dinner? Lobster mac and cheese, lovely garden salad, glass of wine. It's pretty good, I think. I'm gonna have to try another bit. This is the joys of being the cook. Oh, my Lord. It's so good.
This sauce will thicken in the oven, so adding a little pasta water now will loosen the consistency. Give it a bit of drama by decorating it with the empty head and tail. Scatter with breadcrumbs and freshly grated Parmesan. And let it cook at 180 for 35 minutes.
And that, my friends, is lobster mac and cheese. Come on! Have a look at that. Just for the last 5 minutes, you started getting a little bit of oil on the top from the cheese, so I just got a few bits of rosemary and dipped it in that oil and then took it off to put it over the top. And actually it makes incredible flavour when you get a little bit of that in the pasta. You can see how crispy that is. That little bit of breadcrumbs just creates this little kind of cap that's just outrageous. Look at that. Nice little wadge of salad. I always just try and mix it up. You've got edible flowers like nasturtiums and marigolds. So there you go. The great lobster mac and cheese. Definitely worth doing. Definitely a treat. You'll surprise people and you'll give them a whole load of comfort. The sauce is still sort of nice and loose, but at the top here, this bit is super crunchy. So it's a lovely contrast. The colour's amazing. And actually, we've taken one lobster and we've stretched it a long way. You'll feed 6 people really generously out of that. That right there is a dish that is going to completely change any dinner party, any dinner with friends and family. Absolute joy. So good.
For selected recipes, please go to jamieoliver.com/comfort food. Coming up, me and my boy get all in a mess, making dreamy marshmallow pavlova.
I'm trying to make it, you keep trying to eat it all.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Now, I couldn't make a series about comfort food without also showing you some great puddings. So finally tonight, pavlova with a surprise filling, homemade marshmallow.
This is an incredible dessert. Chewy pavlova, seasonal fruit with the lovely silky vanilla chantilly cream and cloud-like beautiful orange blossom marshmallow. Oh, unbelievable. First up, meringue. 8 nice free-range eggs. They're about a week old, so I don't want fresh eggs for a good meringue. They just make better, fluffier, crispier on the outside meringues. So the pavlova, it's evolved in so many beautiful ways. You can use all sorts of tropical fruits, you know, seasonal fruits, fresh or lightly stewed. It's a really, really flexible recipe. We're going to pour that in. I will put a pinch of salt in as well, and this just helps strengthen the albumin. I said it right. We're going to put it on a sort of semi-medium speed like that, and let's just get the egg whites stiff. It's been going for about 3 or 4 minutes, and you can see it's really stiff just on its own. So now we want to start adding the sugar.
Gradually add 400 grams of caster sugar and whisk for a further 8 minutes. While that's happening, crack on with the fruit.
I've got some strawberries and raspberries, really good. This is something interesting, wild strawberries. And if you try them, they're like bubble gum. They're like bubblegum strawberries. They're normally a little bit pricey, but in things like pavlova, they look amazing, they're kind of curious, they give a little punch of flavour, unbelievable. Whenever you buy soft fruit, there's always ones that are pretty imperfect, and there's always ones that ain't so. So we're going to just make use of both in the most perfect way.
First, mash up the not-so-pretty berries with a little sugar and some vanilla seeds.
And then I'm just going to steal a little bit of mint, just roll it up and just chop it in here like that. A little squeeze of lemon juice and just a tiny bit of balsamic vinegar. And you might think that's weird, but it just transforms the flavour. I think some people use too much because they got fashionable. Just a little bit, just to raise it. And you can see there's a kind of natural juice coming out of all of this, which is lovely. Oh! Transformed. Unbelievable. All I'll do now is just get nice halves of strawberry, mix it up with some quarters, maybe some slices as well. And the more delicate things like the raspberry and the wild strawberries, I just keep to the side. Just mix it up. And that, my friends, will be another level. Beautiful. Okay, the fruit element, done. Okay, so let's have a look at the lovely meringue. Okay, now there's a little check to make sure it's perfect. Get some of this meringue on your fingers and just rub it together. And if it's silky smooth, like cream, then gorgeous. If there's any kind of granulation or texture there at all, put it back on. So, 2 trays, just get a little bit of meringue in some corners and in the middle. I'm just gonna put my grease-proof paper on just like that. That will sort of stick it down. Divide it into 2. Look at that. It's like something from another planet. It's just wonderful. Whatever happens, it's gonna cook great, but we want it to look great as well. We've got 2 chances here to get a really beautiful pav to go on the top. All I'm gonna do is just sort of pat it down and just encourage it out to the edges. And I like kind of trying to make waves, natural waves, as I do it. Try and give yourself some nice little tips, here, there, and everywhere. Beautiful. My kids go crazy when I make these. They just love it. Licking spoons, the whole works. So we make that lovely little crown, beautiful little pav. Sometimes the most bonkers one ends out being the prettiest. There you go. Absolutely beautiful. Really good fun to make. So we're gonna cook these ideally in a fan-assisted oven at 130 degrees Celsius, 250 Fahrenheit, for exactly 1 hour, 20 minutes. And then we're gonna turn the oven off. So look guys, meringues are done, looking beautiful. The rest of our sort of assembly world of dreamy pavlova is here. The marinated strawberries, the sprinkly fruit, and the mint. For those little pops of flavour, the mint is a real secret ingredient that's incredible.
Next, my take on chantilly cream.
So that's 400 millilitres of double cream, and you really want to under-whip this. So whatever you think you've got to do 10% less. Please do not over-whip it, because it just won't work. So I'm going to split this vanilla pod, scrape those seeds out, get them in, and I'm going to add just 2 tablespoons of sugar to the cream. So I really don't want it to be super sweet. Nice, it's getting thick now. Let's get in there.
While it's still fairly loose,
You can see it's just clinging on.
add 200 grams of Greek yogurt.
This is quite unconventional, but it gives an incredible sort of twang of acidity that really cuts through the meringue and the fruit and all of that sort of business. So it's really nice little tweak. And I'm just going to fold that through now. And can you see it's thickened? And that's it. That's what we want, guys. Heavenly. So we're nearly there. The most exciting bit is yet to come, and it has to happen at the end. And that is the marshmallow. This is the bit that's really taking the pav onto the next level.
Leave making your marshmallow until just before you build your pav, because you need it still to be flexible. To start, whisk 2 egg whites into stiff peaks.
Next up, get a pan, and you want 125 mils of cold water. I'm just gonna soak 10 leaves of gelatin, okay? And this is gonna give the marshmallow elasticity and it's kind of boing. Buddy loves a marshmallow and is constantly trying to thieve them from wherever we hide them. And he always finds them. I have no idea how he finds them, but he does.
Gently heat the gelatin until it dissolves. Now combine 450 grams of caster sugar with 50 grams of liquid glucose. You can get it in the baking section of your supermarket. Add 250 millilitres of water and bring to the boil. Do take care because it gets dangerously hot. It's got to hit exactly 122 degrees.
Which is now. My stiff egg whites will start to whip, and slowly but surely, I'm going to pour that syrup in. So satisfying. And once I've done that, then I go in with the gelatin. We leave that for about 8 minutes. It's got really fluffy, still nice and warm, and while it's warm, it's really flexible. So what I need to do now is flavour this. Rose water works really well with strawberries and fruit. Just 1 little cap will be enough. And then a cap of orange blossom. Smells amazing. And we want to colour it as well. While it's still warm, This is the time to make your pav, and it will be incredible. As that cools down, it will become the most airy, fluffy, cloud-like, spongy goodness. Well, definitely not goodness. This is sugar.
Putting all the bits together is half the joy of a pavlova. So I'm roping in my boy Buddy.
You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
So the cream goes on. Gently, Buds, gently. Marshmallow. You can sprinkle some mint. You ready to put some fruit on, Buds?
Yeah.
Should we just have a little throwing session? That's it. I'm trying to make it. You keep trying to eat it all.
That's why I'm hungry.
You can't eat them all, though, because you know that Granny's got to
I'm
have
eating
some.
it.
OK, look, we're going to drop this now. Very important. Drop it from a height. 1, 2, 3.
You break
I love it the way it just busts like that.
Bust.
Tell me how wide your mouth can go. Look at that. Do you think I can get all of that in there?
Nah.
So, Buddy, you're doing ever such a good job. You are a very good helper.
I can't talk about eating.
All you've done since we've started this recipe is eat. We're going to give that to Granny and Mummy, aren't we?
Yeah.
OK.
Only when I finished it all in my mouth.
OK. OK, we'll work on that.
And then wipe it.
And wipe it off to clean up the evidence. Smart boy, smart boy.
In this show, I'm taking on 4 comfort food classics.
Come on, smelly that.
My friend Gennaro is helping me make the very best ravioli. The ultimate cheese toastie with extra crispy bits.
We've created our crown.
Homemade fish and chips with all the trimmings.
Let's get them out. Beautiful fillets of fish, flake and crispy batter.
And my version of the curry house favourite, chicken tikka masala.
This is going to be dry cooked over the wood, charred, kind of mimicking that tandoor.
I'm going to kick off with a dish that takes me straight back to my school days.
Come on.
So here we are, me and Gennaro making pasta, just like 20 years ago when we first met. We're just hanging it out to dry, and then we'll keep it for weeks until we need it. But today, we're focusing on a pasta that's really incredible, ravioli, the world of ravioli. Not any ravioli, ravioli Bolognese.
Our ravioli with fresh pasta, an intense ragu filling and a silky tomato sauce is a grown-up take on one of my favourite tin foods when I was a child.
How many people grew up with tinned raviolis in England? Loads, everyone. I grew up on them. How many Italian kids eat tinned ravioli?
Not a single one.
It's a British invention. But it is fond memories because that was the first pasta that we ever had.
Gennaro taught me everything I know about pasta, so he's going to help me show you how to make perfect Bolognese ravioli the authentic Italian way.
What we're going to do now is go through the ritual of enjoying making pasta and making a lovely sort of anglicised version of a Bolognese, but still with love, and you're going to love it. It's going to just knock your socks off.
First up, the pasta. To make the dough really luxurious, we're using just the yolks of a dozen eggs.
Look at this colour of yolk of eggs, which you beat them all up first. Nice.
Throw in 400 grams of 00 flour and 75 grams of fine semolina to give it extra bite, flavour and colour. Then add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil to help with elasticity.
The old man's using his hands.
Best tools in the world.
Pour in a little cold water and then gradually bring it all together.
See, I'm collecting everything because I don't want to waste anything. Even the flour on the table is good.
Knead the dough for about 5 minutes, then wrap it in cling film and put it in the fridge to relax for at least half an hour. Now it's on to the ragu.
Olive oil goes in a pan. I have some veal here and some pork here. The veal is the lighter meat. It's got some nice fat through there as well. 400 grams of that and 400 grams of the pork. This goes into the pan. So we're breaking up the meat first, and it's really important that we get a light golden colour before we do anything else. As this starts frying, I need to start chopping some veg.
The veg going into the ragu will give it texture and flavour. We're using 2 onions, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 sticks of celery and 2 carrots.
When I first started working for Gennaro, it was like fate. It was really lovely. On the last day of college, the lecturer said, "Tell me where you want to be in the next 5 years." And all the chefs in my class were saying all these Michelin star places. And it came to me and I just said, I just want to learn how to make the very, very best pasta in Britain. And everyone thought it was a really rubbish answer. But my really good friend at the time said, listen, if you want to make the best pasta, you need to go and find this guy called Gennaro Contaldo. He's the best. And when I got home that night, by complete luck, my wife had an advert in the Evening Standard for a pastry chef, and it was the very same restaurant. And I got the job. And the only reason I was there was to work with him. And then we've been best friends ever since, haven't we? Yeah. So now you can see the liquid's cooked away and things are starting to stick on the bottom. If you look in here now, see, it's getting really crispy.
Okay, now the meat starts to grab the lovely flavour of the carrots, the garlic,
and the rest.
The onions. Oh my God, look at that. Let me seal them a little bit. Come on, smell it that.
There's nothing flashy in there, it's just cooking the meat right. Don't rush this bit. Raw onions, if you start putting moisture in now, you've screwed the whole thing up. Just give it a nice season with salt and pepper now. Listen to the sound.
There is an orchestra inside here.
An orchestra?
Yes.
There's not an orchestra in there. That's sizzling.
All together, all together.
After 10 minutes, the meat and veg will be ready for a slosh of red wine.
There he goes. You're going to use the best wine. Remember, not cooking wine. There is no such a thing of a cooking wine.
I think the English invented that.
Cooking wine? What is it? What? I don't know. The wine you drink is the wine you're going to use it.
Yeah. 200 millilitres, nice red wine. And we want to cook that away pretty much.
The alcohol evaporates and the beautiful flavour of the grapes stay inside. You declaze the pot, all the lovely sticky stuff which you can remove it, and the flavour goes back inside the meat.
You've got a nice clean pan on the bottom. And now we're going to go in with the tomatoes. And if you want the best tomatoes, the whole plum tomatoes are always a better grade. That's it. We now turn it down to a little gentle heat. We let that simmer now, maybe just over an hour. And you'll have a beautiful, sublime ragu.
One of the things I love about this recipe is that it takes time to do. The ragu, once it's cooked, will need a few hours in the fridge to get to the right consistency. So go off, have fun, and come back when it's ready.
It's been cooled down in the fridge for a few hours. You can see it's thickened up beautifully here. If you taste it, it's just beautiful. Just put about 100 grams of Parmesan into this, and that's going to be the finishing sort of touch. So this now makes a perfect filling for ravioli. Gennaro over there, he's got the pasta that's relaxed, and he'll start rolling it out on the pasta machine.
Oh, my. Look at that beauty.
You can see now it's relaxed. It's like a giant piece of sort of bubble gum, which is perfect for making ravioli. Ravioli really is a term for any filled pasta, but every area has a different name. So ravioli, cappellacci, you know, tell them some of the
Cappelletti, colorzoni, tortellini, mezzaluna, panzerotti. There's all different kind of ravioli. At the end, it's all filled pasta. Different shape, but it's all filled pasta.
I'm just going to make a quick tomato sauce. Do you mind?
OK, make a quick tomato sauce.
Okay. Pan, hot, go in with olive oil, about 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to make enough for 4 portions. A couple of cloves of garlic, and then we're going to go in with half a chilli. I'm going to add some basil, so tinned tomatoes, plums again, which is lovely. We season with salt, we season with pepper, break this tomato up, and that's ready and waiting for our lovely ravioli.
Let the sauce simmer for 10 minutes and then pass it through a coarse sieve.
you can see what's left in here now is silky smooth and delicious.
All we've got to do now is make our little ravioli parcels.
The thing about ravioli, you want to do it half as thin as usual because you fill it and you wrap it so it's double. And then when it's wrapped, then it's the perfect thickness. So Gennaro just blows underneath it, and if it flutters like that, go on, do it again. If it flutters, then it's perfect. So every 2 inches gap, we put another ball.
Yeah.
So then what we do...
Shall we flip it the other
Yeah, we
way?
flip together. So 1, 2, 3, and we go over. Now, the first side that we seal is this side here. So we just rub our hands down here. Then go down and just tap, tap, and then cup your hand and let your thumb do the same on the other side.
Good boy.
Tap, 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 cup and down. Tap, 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 and down. And it's very
I
nice.
love it.
We're pushing out the air, and you won't get those air bubbles. If you get an air bubble, then it floats. If it floats, it doesn't cook properly. So Gennaro's going to use these little cutters now.
Look at that. Come on.
A 3-minute boil in salted water and the ravioli is done.
This is a homage to the raviolis of my childhood in the tins. Look how beautiful and elegant it is. What a joy. Just a little toss like that. Bits of Parmesan, and then just a little bit of good extra virgin olive oil. And that, my friend, is what it's all about. And why not start with the filling of Bolognese? It's a safe place. And then from there, 1 cheese, 2 cheese, 3 cheeses, leftover mashed potato and Parmesan,
roast beef, you know, roast turkey, the lot, the stew.
roasted veg,
everything.
so many things. Shall we eat it now?
Shall we?
Too much talking.
I know.
The best pasta, the best filling, the best sauce. That's how you want your ravioli.
Oh my,
Comfort food.
really good.
So silky. So happy. That's amazing.
For selected recipes, please go to jamieoliver.com/comfort food. Next, a cheese toastie with extra crunch. My homemade version of the great British classic, fish and chips, with chips that I reckon are the best ever.
The point of the perfect chip is it's roughly around this size. But we don't want it looking like it's come out of a factory. It's hand-cut chips.
Plus, chicken tikka masala with homemade flaky flatbreads, all cooked over an open fire. We all need a treat once in a while, so in this series I'm taking on our favourite dishes and making them as delicious as I possibly can. The little gem I want to show you now is one of my personal favourites.
Sometimes the best comfort food on the planet is some of the simplest and quickest. And a toasted cheese sandwich has to be up there as one of those incredible comfort food dishes.
My version is, I believe, the ultimate toastie. Oozy on the inside, but topped off with a crown of crispy cheese.
So we're starting off with the usual suspects here. We're not using flashy sourdough bread, we're using a nice, humble white bloomer. Then we got a good cheddar, red Leicester, fantastic. I've got some butter, and then that's pretty much the basis of the great cheese toastie. So, bread, about 1 centimetre thick. Get yourself some nice butter. Room temperature always helps. A fairly light buttering, if you can. You're gonna turn it over and do both sides of the butter. If you're gonna do one first for the one you love, the wife, like pancakes, you know, the first one's never 100% perfect. So she'll think that you love her, or he, because they get the first one. But actually it'll be the tester. And then when you do the second one, it's about you. Selfish, but completely undercover. Well, until I just told you. So now I'll have to give her the second one. Get yourself a box grater, and you can use any cheese that you love. That's going to melt nicely. You know, this concept can embrace and love any country's best melting cheese. You know, if you're in France and you're in the wonderful world of Gruyere. If you're in Italy, you could go Fontina, that just kind of melts beautifully, and little bombs of taleggio that kind of explode, little nuggets of flavour. Fantastic.
Once the cheese is grated, pile a handful onto your buttered bread and give it a squeeze. So far, so familiar.
We're going to pick this little baby up and we're going to put it into the pan.
You'll need your frying pan on a low to medium heat.
So what we want to do is spend about 3 minutes on each side getting it beautiful and golden. If it's too hot and you do it in a minute, it'll just be cold in the middle. We don't want that. So it's that perfect temperature to get the middle oozy. Now I'm going to place some weight on the top and just use whatever you got around you. You know, you could use a pestle and mortar or another pan just to weigh it down flat.
For 3 minutes, just wait. And get ready for the best bit, the making of this little toastie's crispy crown.
The way I developed the perfect cheese toastie was put too much cheese in. As it cooked, it oozed out, it went down the sides. This came out, and that was the kind of eureka moment. Because it's like, okay, I love me oozy lava of cheese, I'm into all that. But when this happens, crunch. Wow. So, okay, let's remove the weights now. And we have here a perfectly legitimate toasted cheese sandwich, right? Lovely. And many would be happy with that, okay? I ain't, right? Because we're going to a new place. So what we want to do is reenact in here the mistake that time oozed out of that beautiful cheese toasted sandwich. I'm going to grate a layer of cheese around the bottom of my little pan here. And almost think of it like a little doily. And we're going to take this cheese sandwich and we're going to put it bang on top, and we don't touch it. And in the course of a minute and a half, it brings out completely different flavours from the cheese. I mean, who doesn't love the smell of, like, catching cheese? You know, the bits on the tray when you did the cheese on toast under the grill were always the best bits, yeah? So you can see the fat splitting from the cheese, and that's another opportunity. Fat is coming out. Fat means we can add flavour. You know, we could do many things, but one little thing I love is just a tiny little pinch of KM. Tiny. You know, this stuff's hot, and just the littlest little grating. You probably won't even see it, but you will taste it. Not as in hot, but as in, like, kick. Can you see how it's just peeling away like that? That's a good sign. Be quite rough with it. Don't be scared of it. And then you get underneath it, and you just hold it. And by the time that we count to 30, we've then created our crown. Our very royal crown. I mean, I would love to cook that for the Queen. Then we put a little bit more cheese and we put it in the middle. And this is the final turn. 4 turns to perfection, guys, 4 turns. So we're talking texturally about a cheese sandwich we ain't had before. Imagine that turning up at breakfast in bed. Imagine that turning up on Father's Day. Imagine that turning up on Valentine's Day. I mean, come on. Look at that. When have you ever seen a cheese toastie like that? That is another level. It's a total thing of beauty. For perfection in the eating, you've got to leave it for 2 minutes, because inside that toastie, you know, the cheese is like 1 billion degrees Celsius. It will strip the skin off of any human's mouth. So just leave it, be patient. And of course, as temperatures go down, you can taste more. Let's get the brown going. Let's get the ketchup going. Go and grab that mango chutney out the back of the cupboard. It's been there for years, just waiting, lonely, waiting to be used. Crispy, gooey, fluffy, golden perfection. That's what I'm talking about right there. Break it, squeeze it. Now, it's white bread, cheese, and butter. But let's be honest, this is what makes the world go round, and that is comfort food.
For selected recipes, please go to jamieoliver.com/comfort food. Still to come, two of Britain's best loved dishes. That seaside favourite, fish and chips.
The batter couldn't be simpler. 3 ingredients. It smells like a pub on a Saturday morning that I used to clean up when I was a kid.
And the UK's most popular curry, chicken tikka masala.
Is it up to scratch?
It's lovely. It's really, really nice. I've eaten chicken tikka in India, and this is better.
Really? Do they have chicken tikka in India? No.
To me, comfort food isn't food that we have every day. It's food that we take our time over, that we put love into, and that makes us happy. My next recipe is inspired by a dream I've had for many years, of running my own little fish and chip shop.
Fish and chips is the ultimate comfort food. And it is incredible because it's your own little personal picnic. You know, crispy batter, flaky steamed fish, the ultimate chip. Condiments galore. Unbelievable. In actual fact, Winston Churchill didn't even ration it in the war because it was so important for the public's morale. So I want to just take you on a little journey onto the perfect fish and chips that you guys can do at home in a really creative, fantastic, spectacular way. It starts right here with the humble spud, Maris Piper. Tried and tested, best potato for chips. Have a little wash. I'm leaving my skins on, but of course you can peel it. And when I was a little kid, my very first jobs pretty much in the kitchen with my dad was chipping. I was a chipper. And a chipper is someone that just spends hours cutting chips. And that was my job. That's how I earned my pocket money. So chipping is really simple, and this is the way I was taught years ago. First up, I take a centimetre chunk off the potato, like that. Then we got a flat edge, so it's safe. And remember, I was 8, 9 years old when I was doing this. A centimetre slice, 1, centimetre slice, 2, and then you just turn it on its side, and you can then do the same the other way. The point of the perfect chip is it's roughly around this size, but we don't want it looking like it's come out of a factory. It's hand-cut chips.
Wash the starch off your chips, then pat them dry, ready for cooking.
We're going to blanch the potatoes, which is a little bit like parboiling your roast potatoes. What we want to do is cook the potato blonde, no colour. So there's 2 stages to the perfect chip. Over here, I've got some oil. Now, most people are going to use sunflower oil, they're going to use sunseed oil, even peanut oil is sworn by for a lot of sort of chip aficionados. I'm actually using beef drippings here. That's a traditional way to do it. I'm just doing it because I'm trying to show you the ultimate chip. If it is the ultimate, it's got to be the ultimate potato, the ultimate cut, the ultimate cook, and the ultimate fat.
For the first stage of cooking, the blanching, heat the oil to 140 degrees Celsius and deep fry the chips for 7 to 8 minutes.
Let me show you what we're looking for. You can see it's got no colour here, right? But if I squeeze it, it's soft, it's fluffy. We're in for action. So let's get these out. It might look a bit boring now, but you wait till later. We're going to make the very best chips, but until then, we're going to do the fish. So I'm using pollock. It's a lovely white fish. You can use any local fish you can get, any seasonal fish. Make sure it's nice and sustainable. Now, I've got a little tweak that I learned in Rome, because the Romans also like fish and chips, did you know? And what they do is about an hour before they cook it, they just get some salt, rub that in, and what this does is quite fascinating. If you think about it, the biggest enemy to the crispiest batter is steam that's going to make it soggy and soft. What the Italians did is they just salt it, and it just pours out a little bit of that residual water, okay? And it does two things. It makes the fish flakier, rock and roll. It also actually seasons it, which is no bad thing. But that excess liquid that comes out stops it turning into steam, which makes it easier for you to fry and turn into the best fish and chips ever. So it's a tip worth knowing.
The salt will take about an hour to work its magic on the fish. So I've got time to crack on with all the little extras that make this dish so special.
We're going to do tartare sauce, but not just tartare sauce. We're going to make the mayonnaise. Of course, you can use jar mayonnaise, but why don't we make it the best? It's really, really simple, and it means you can kind of just super turbocharge it to another place, so that when you put that chip in, or that little bit of kind of battered fish, it's another level. That's what we want, proper comfort food. So, I need a bowl. I need to separate 2 egg yolks. We're going to put a nice heaped teaspoon of Dijon mustard in there as well. And then we're going to start adding oil. Start off with a lighter oil, sunflower oil, sunseed oil. If you add the oil too quickly, it will split it.
When the mayo's getting thicker, switch from the light oil to an extra virgin olive oil to give it more flavour. Squeeze in some lemon and a splash of white wine vinegar, then season to taste.
There's our homemade mayonnaise. That will keep in the fridge for a couple of weeks, easy peasy.
At this point, you can take your mayo in any direction. I'm adding garlic to some to make aioli. And smoked chipotle tabasco to another batch to make it spicy. But it's the tangy tartare sauce that's most traditional with fish and chips.
So for tartare sauce, we need the classic flavours. We need the cornichon. We need the capers, and some people don't understand capers. We've got the anchovy, and again, some people hate that as well, and then parsley. So a lovely little world of flavours here.
It's a strong combination, but these are ingredients that work brilliantly together. Just finely chop, add some lemon zest, and stir into the mayonnaise.
Unbelievable. Great. Flavours coming out there. A little bit of lemon juice. And we've got a great little tartare sauce there.
Punchy, acidic flavours are perfect with anything deep fried. So to go with my fish and chips, there's nothing I love more than pickles. I've got gherkins, quail's eggs, and radishes already jarred, but I'm gonna make some pickled baby carrots.
I've just grown my own carrots, but if you get it from your farmers markets or the supermarkets, it's all good. They're just gorgeous. And it's quite nice when you're scrubbing them, chafe them up a little bit. You're just opening up the ability for the carrot to take on flavour.
To make a simple pickling liquor, mix 2 mugs of vinegar with 1 mug of boiling water and a heaped teaspoon each of salt and sugar.
So you've got the sweet and sour thing going on, and then you can kind of riff off that. So you can kind of go into the world of spices. I've got mustard seeds. Couple of peppercorns. Love cloves. And then dried chilli. Have a little taste. Yeah, salt's there, vinegar's there, so just plop them in, guys. Get your little seal, put it on the lid, just push it and plunge it all in. There's a few other little friends of Mr. Pickled Carrot here, and that's curry sauce, fish and chips and curry sauce, come on! And mushy peas.
To make an incredible version of that chip shop curry sauce, fry 2 onions, 2 carrots, and 5 cloves of garlic for about 20 minutes on a low heat to bring out all the sweetness. Add 3 heaped teaspoons of medium curry powder, 2 tablespoons of mango chutney, and a dash of soy sauce. To thicken it up, add 3 tablespoons of corn flour. Then go in with 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar and 350 ml of boiling water.
Now I've turned the heat up. We'll bring that to the boil, then we'll simmer it for about 10-15 minutes. It'll go silky, shiny, it'll have loads of flavour, sweet and sourness, and just waiting for a humble chip to be dipped into that sauce. Let's get back to the fish of fish and chips. Now, you'll see that there's quite a bit of moisture coming off of that fish, and that would have been turning into steam, giving you a soggy fish and chip. So off it comes.
Cut the fish into medium-sized chunks. This makes it easier to cook, but also ensures the perfect ratio of steamy hot fish inside to crunchy beer batter coating outside.
Now, batter's very, very important. You want a beautiful, tasty, crisp, wafer-thin batter. I've got a great recipe for you. Very, very simple. 120 grams of self-raising flour. And this is enough for 8 portions of fish, by the way. And then it's a beer batter. So, of course, you want a nice, dark, smooth, kind of IPA-style beer. OK, about 150 millilitres. You've got some bubbles in there too, which is always good. We'll season it with a tiny bit of salt. And we're going to use some baking powder. 1 level teaspoon. That'll just give it some nice air, which will be gorgeous. The batter couldn't be simpler. 3 ingredients, beat it together, super smooth, smells like a bar. It smells like a pub on a Saturday morning that I used to clean up when I was a kid. It's got that beery, malty flavour, which is great. I want it thick, but loose enough, just like that. OK, so we've had a lot of fun pimping up our fish and chips. We're all ready and raring to go. Fish is ready. And when I do this at home, you know, I treat it like a little fish and chip shop. Because we're kind of limited by the size of our pan, we can only do 1 portion of fish and chips at a time. But that's beautiful because a customer can come up and take their little bit of fish and chips, pimp it up with all your little bits and pieces. Then the next person comes, then the next person, and you're guaranteeing perfection every time. So now I'm going to set up for my shop, which is what I've always wanted to do. Let's do it. Curry sauce. And there you go. All I've got to do now is cook it.
The melted beef dripping needs to be at just the right temperature for frying, 180 degrees Celsius.
So I want 2 or 3 pieces of the lovely fish, like that. First thing that's really important is go into the flour. The flour is just going to stick to the fish, and also it's going to allow the batter to stick to that. Shake off that excess flour, and in the batter you go. The oil's at the correct temperature. Make sure you do a really good job of getting all sides of the fish coated, and just let gravity take that excess batter away. I'm just going to put it into the oil, hold it there very, very carefully, and never kind of let it splash towards you. Let it plop away. Beautiful. Then just pop some chips in as well, and that's your 1 portion. So the excitement is kind of getting too much. We cook these chips and fish for about 4 to 5 minutes. Look, it's all happening. Just having a little check. Let that do its thing, okay? Let it do its thing. All of this love and effort has now come together to make one of the greatest comfort food dishes of British history, fish and chips. Let's get them out. Beautiful, crispy fillets of fish. Chips. Crispy, golden, sizzling away. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Flake and crispy batter. The perfect chip for me is absolute crispiness on the outside and that fluffiness on the inside, you know, where it's soft. Oh, it's so good.
Time at last to dish up my epic fish and chips together with all the trimmings. Mushy peas, just smashed up with a little butter and mint. My homemade tartare sauce and spicy mayo. Then pickles.
This is sort of like my idea of heaven. Okay, so last but not least, curry sauce. It's all too good. Curry sauce is so good. Chips, pickles. Oh, too hot. Beautiful. That's the diet gone.
For selected recipes, please go to jamieoliver.com/comfort food. After the break, I'm cooking curry for the boys.
Chicken tikka masala, paratha, fluffy rice, bit of salad, and then poppadoms crunched over the top. Who's next?
There's nothing like cooking over an open fire on a summer's evening. So for my final recipe, I want to show you something that just tastes way better with a little bit of smoke. Served with light and flaky paratha flatbreads, it's chicken tikka masala.
Now, to do this, we need the flavour of charcoal and wood, and we haven't got a tandoor, like many people, but I have gone into the garden and dug a hole and burnt some wood. It's exciting to make this. The first time I actually was able to make my own chicken tikka masala that was better than a takeaway or a good restaurant, it was so exciting, and you can do that by following this.
This curry has two elements: chunks of chicken that are marinated and then grilled on skewers, and a creamy spiced tomato sauce.
So first up, let's get the marinade for the chicken rocking and rolling. I've got 4 spices that are going to make this chicken incredibly gorgeous.
You want 1 level teaspoon each of ground cumin and ground cloves. Then 2 heaped teaspoons each of sweet smoked paprika and garam masala.
So all I want you to do is just move that around. Can you see it smoking there? That's just going to bring those spices back to life. They've been in a little airtight container for a few months. Let's just toast them up and get them gorgeous. So I can take that straight off the heat, and that really does make all the difference. That's going to go straight into a plate where our marinade's going to live. Okay, fresh elements. Ginger, fresh, gorgeous, juicy, and garlic.
Grate in a thumb-sized piece of ginger and crush in 6 garlic cloves. Then lighten it up with the zest and juice of a lemon and 6 tablespoons of yogurt.
A nice pinch of salt. Toasted spices, lemon juice and ginger. You kind of know that's going to be good. Listen, chicken tikka masala is a bastardisation of an Indian curry. But you know what? If you look back at the history of most cooking, it's an evolution. Everything's always an evolution, and this dish is legit. It's one of our most loved dishes in Britain, and as it goes around the world, they also love it, just like spaghetti bolognese and other beautiful things. Let's get the chicken on there. 6 chicken breasts. We want nice big chunks. So meat goes into our marinade here, and let's have a little massage up. The older I'm getting, the more hippie I'm getting, and I think it's so important to be happy when you cook. I've cooked really gorgeous meals, and if I've been a bit grumpy or like stuff's kicking off at home, like kids going ballistic and feral, you know, the food just don't come out right. You know, if you can be happy, it does. It does make food taste better. Let's have a wash of the hands. Now, I have some that I did yesterday because it's really, really good to do it the night before. You can just see it's absorbed that flavour, which is lovely. So I'm going to clank up some lemons like that. I've got some chilies, greens, reds, yellows, whatever you can get hold of. Let's now start to do our skewers. So I'm going to go on with a lemon here first, then a piece of chicken, like that. Don't pack it too tight, let it breathe. Let's just put a little snag a chili. The nice thing about this is we haven't used much chili so far in the dish, and people can pimp their own to suit them. So they can just cut up a little bit of chili, mix it through the sauce, and it's lovely. And a bit of lemon. This is going to be dry cooked over the wood, charred, kind of mimicking that tandoor. So when you cut this into the sauce and let it just simmer away a bit, it's absolutely amazing. That's the genius of chicken tikka masala.
Time now to make the masala sauce.
Very, very simple. And forgive me, I've had a little head start. I've got 2 onions and 4 cloves of garlic and 2 chilies. And these have been slowly frying off for about 20 minutes. So they go sweet, sweet, sweet. Now, I need some coriander stalks. These, my friend, are brilliant. Brilliant for flavour.
Finely chop the coriander stalks and add to the pan with 6 tablespoons of ground almonds, 1 level tablespoon of ground coriander, and 2 level teaspoons of turmeric.
That's going to give it that incredible colour. You can see the pan's toasting those spices again. And then we want to stop that toasting process and go into sauce action. So we'll do that with 2 tins of beautiful tomatoes. 1 chicken stock cube, just crumble that in. Gives it that lovely richness and savouriness. And then I want to put 300 ml of water, half a pint, just to loosen it. Hit it with some salt. Last ingredient, 1 tin of coconut milk. And I love this stuff. Its ability to put that sort of southern Indian tropical sort of flavour in there is gorgeous. So what I want to do is make a little place here for the pan. I'm using a cake rack. We can put our pan here, let that tick away and just let all the flavours mix up beautifully.
As the sauce simmers for 20 to 25 minutes, it'll develop all its flavours and take on the taste of smoke from the fire.
You can just see it going around the pan and licking the sauce. It's like a seasoning that you can't buy on the shelf. Do you know what I mean? That's the great thing about this. So I've got the sauce just blipping away there. I've got the gorgeous kebabs, and I want to do now an amazing flatbread to celebrate this dish. And I know you're probably thinking naan bread. No, this is something I learned from an Indian chef in an Indian kitchen. He didn't speak a word of English, and he was so excited when he made this. And it's very, very humble and brilliant, and an absolute example of how clever Indian bread making is. I've got 300 grams of plain flour, 300 grams of wholemeal flour. I'm going to go in with a couple of tablespoons of oil, a little pinch of salt, and then about 400 mils of milk goes in.
This type of flatbread is called a paratha, and it's made without yeast or any other raising agent.
It's such an intelligent bread because it uses layering, kind of like an Indian version of puff pastry, you know, which that gives it the lightness, that gives it the rise, that gives it the texture. I'm going to show you what to do with this later. I'll cover this. I've got everything ready. I'm going to have a big clean up, beers, salad, fluffy rice. Sun's going down. It's going to be good.
This curry's perfect for sharing, so I've asked some of my oldest schoolmates round to join me.
Boys, you up for this?
Andy the gas man is on kebab duty.
Just keep turning them about 10, 12 minutes until really charred up on the outside.
While I show the others the clever way that paratha flatbreads get their light and airy texture.
Boys, have you ever had a paratha before? Has anyone here had a paratha?
No. I think I have, actually. No.
We roll the bread out nice and thin, about the thickness of a beer mat, okay? And let's be honest, we all know exactly how thick that is. This is a very authentic bread.
So why are they not serving this in the Mogul, the Second Ward? Is it not native to the high street of Second Ward?
Rub the dough with melted butter, ghee or coconut oil, then roll it up quite loosely.
Andy, how's that kebab?
Good, but I'm under a lot of pressure.
So we've rolled it up like a Swiss roll, and now we're just going to cut it into sort of chunks like that. And then we're going to turn it on its side, bit of flour, and we'll push it down. Kind of like a Chelsea bun, that's what we've created. And we'll roll it out a little bit. See the little lines, Lee? Mm. And it's the fat between the bread that's going to make it sort of puff out and puff up.
Put Put the flatbreads into a hot oil pan and fry for 3 minutes on each side. Now for the trick that makes them perfect for soaking up that sauce.
So as soon as it's cooked, you smash it up. And you're supposed to do that.
Oh, Sean will be good at that.
It looks like you dropped it. But the point is you get all these little shards and then in a bit of sauce. That's how it works. Who's hungry?
Yeah, I am.
All that's left is to carve that charred chicken straight into the masala sauce. Balance with fresh coriander leaves and swirls of cooling natural yogurt.
Bit of lemon juice, very, very nice. Little well in the middle, whack in to the chicken tikka masala. The paratha, little bit of the old coriander in there, gorgeous. And there we go. Happy days. Chicken tikka masala, paratha, fluffy rice, bit of salad, and then poppadoms crunched over the top. Who's next?
Yeah, I'll go. Absolutely love it.
Is it up to scratch, Mr. Gray? That's the question.
It's lovely. It's really, really nice. I've eaten chicken tikka in India, and this is better.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they have chicken tikka in India? No. No. Thanks, boys. Cheers. Thank you for coming.
Right. Cheers.
Pleasure.
Yeah, cheers.
In this show, I'm taking on 4 comfort food favourites. I'm making sticky toffee pudding with my mum.
And as we take this, it's just going to gush out.
A luxurious lasagna with crispy roast duck.
So good. Lasagnas will never, ever be the same again.
My best ever steak and onion sandwich. Just look at that. And an Italian classic of braised veal shanks, Osso buco.
And if you've never had it, that's got to be on the bucket list.
First up, one of those comfort food gems that everyone needs to know how to make just right.
The perfect steak sandwich. This was a dish that my dad cooked for me when I was a young boy, and I even knew then that this was an epic, epic little treat.
Made with caramelised onions and the most flavoursome cut of beef, the skirt, this is one special sandwich.
This here is a skirt steak because it kind of looks like pleated skirt here. And of course, this is more than I need. You can see there's lovely fat through that. It's a different texture. It's tender, but you kind of have to chew a little bit more. Obviously, when you chew that little bit more, you get to taste a little bit more. And it's delicious. So in this recipe, which I think is the best steak sandwich I've ever had in my life, I didn't want the big hero to be just the steak. I wanted it to really be everything. I want to create a texture and flavour out of these humble white onions that really are incredible. And how do we do that? Well, you ain't going to do that by just frying it. You ain't going to do that by just slicing it. You've got to kind of put some real love into this.
I'm going to make my onions sweet and sour, with sourness coming from red wine vinegar and sweetness from sugar and caramelisation. They'll take longer to cook than the steak, so I've got to get them on first.
Cut them about 2 centimetres thick. Now, the outside layer gets a little bit tough, so I'm just going to click these out. Just use it for salads or soups or whatever. And whether you're going to turn these onions into this beautiful steak sandwich or whether they're kind of going to go into an amazing mega salad or on a pizza or kind of folded through a risotto or with roast potatoes just for the last 5 minutes so they all kind of cook into each other, this onion dish is legit, whatever you want to do with it. So let's turn it on and let me show you how to make the best onions.
Get your pan on a medium heat and add some olive oil, a good knob of butter, and 70 grams of dark brown sugar. Then let it all melt down together.
3 or 4 nice little leaves of bay. So I'm just going to lay those in like that. And then we go in with the onions. And what I'm trying to create is buttery, soft onions that just fall apart when you bite into that steak sandwich. That's what I want.
Season the onions and cook them for 5 to 10 minutes to give them a sweet caramelised bottom.
Once you've done onions like this, you'll keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And I can smell caramel right now. So I'm going to turn this down. And I'm going to go in with the vinegar, red wine vinegar. About 125 millilitres of vinegar. That's going to stop the frying and caramelisation process, and what it's going to do, it'll just start poaching. Lid goes on. We'll let them simmer away on a gentle heat for about 30-35 minutes. Let's get back to the steak. A little quick marination. I'm going to use rosemary on the bottom and on the top, and then I'm going to use one of these old meat hammers, and let's pound the rosemary into the beef to give it flavour and bring out the oils in the rosemary.
Bashing the beef will tenderise it as well as flavour it, and it will give you the chance to get the steak to the same thickness as the onions, which to me is the key for a perfectly balanced sandwich.
Like that, a little olive oil on the plate and a little bit on the meat. Leave this out at room temperature while these onions cook. And one thing to remember is, when cooking steak, never take it from the fridge and just cook it. Really cold, really hot, muscle, tense, tough. And then when it rests, too much liquid will come out instead of stay inside the meat. An hour and a half at room temperature, happy days. So, onions on, meat marinating. We've got a ciabatta. I'll just heat that in an oven, and then we'll make the best steak sandwich. These are basically cooked now. You can see they've kind of shrunk. It's got dark and gnarly. Oh, the onions are gorgeous.
Turn them over in the vinegary caramel, then leave the onions to cool while you cook your steak.
We want that screaming hot. Let's season up this meat with sea salt and pepper on both sides. Then put just a cheap filtered olive oil into the pan. I'm going to put in the lovely steak, and I'm going to turn that every minute until it's cooked to my liking. I'll take just tiny little knobs of butter, and they'll start to discolour and burn and go beurre noisette. It'll be really, really good. Once it's had that nice first minute, we'll have a little turn. Shake the oil and welcome it back. Beautiful. Perfect time for a little glass of IPA.
Fry the steak, turning throughout for 3 minutes on each side if you like it tender and medium. For a rarer, juicy steak, reduce the time a little. Just be careful not to overcook it, because this particular cut of beef will toughen up.
I think we're in a good place now. We've amplified the absolute maximum of flavour in that, and now we're going to put it in that. Get yourself a nice big plate, and we'll turn off the heat. And there, all the sizzle. I'm just going to steal a little bit of that cooking fat there. Not too much, just a little bit. And what's going to happen now is incredibly important. The meat is going to rest. All of those lovely juices are going to come out of here, and that is what we're going to dunk our bread in. Don't let any of that go. So we'll just let that sit for a second.
Ciabatta, just warmed through in the oven, is the perfect bread for a great steak sandwich.
So look, that's why I chose the ciabatta. Look how crispy it is, which is a good thing. And then here, it's just spongy and gorgeous and comforting. So time to make this incredible Scooby snack. First up, let's get the amazing beef. Turn it around in that juice, and that's to protect it. As soon as any meat comes out of the roast or off the grill, it starts to dehydrate and it starts to dry up, then it goes tough. So keep it loved with fat and juices. We go straight over to our chopping board. Now, if you notice, the skirt, you know, the grain of the meat goes this way, running this way. So So I want to cut against that. That helps to tenderize it. And I'm going to cut the same thickness as the onions. Okay, so now it's about 1 centimetre because they've all shrunk a little bit.
Pour the resting juices onto your board so the ciabatta can soak up all that flavour evenly. Then spread on some English mustard for a kick.
Next up, they're amazing onions. Just look at that, very beautiful. Look at the way it just falls apart. So exciting. And this juice here, give a little kiss of it to each little bit of onion. And then it's time to go on with our gorgeous steak. That wonderful cut of skirt. If you look into it, it's tender. You can see it's tender, look. Just run a few across like this. This is proper, this is. So we're going to go in with some watercress now. This is an opportunity as well, just to put a bit of zing through the story.
Just a good handful of watercress with some lemon juice and a pinch of salt, and pile it up onto your sandwich.
Be generous. That lovely, gorgeous, irony hit of lemony watercress.
Pop the top on and you're done. One mighty treat that's enough for 4.
That, my friends, is a steak sandwich. And the care and love that's gone into the onions is equal to the meat. Absolute steak indulgence. Squeeze it and just get in there. Oh. Onions, so good. Make it. Make it, make it, make it. I mean, look in there. Just as incredible as the steak. And as I'm eating it, all the resting juices are coming out and it's kind of messy and there's no polite way to eat it. You just got to find a corner and go enjoy it.
For selected recipes, please go to jamieoliver.com/comfort food. Coming up, everyone's favourite comfort food, lasagna. But with a difference. This one's made with crispy duck.
That's what we want. Those lovely crispy bits.
A sticky toffee pudding that I'm making with my mum.
Oh, Mum, smell that.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And also buco, a beautiful Italian dish of braised veal.
See how tender that is? Look, just breaking up. Don't even have to try. Oh.
We all need a treat once in a while, so in this series I'm taking on our favourite dishes and making them as delicious as I possibly can. My next recipe is for a dish that's the very essence of comfort food. It's an Italian classic, but I'm giving this one a bit of a twist.
Lasagna, definitely one of the great dishes of the world. People love it. It's one of the most searched recipes online. And I'm going to give you today not a pork lasagna or a beef lasagna. No. We're going to go the ultimate lasagna, something that I'm incredibly proud of. It's crispy duck lasagna, using this fella here. This recipe is brilliant because it's kind of like an assembly of beautiful parts. White sauce, braised spinach, the roasted duck, poured into a lovely ragu with Chianti Classico, and then homemade ultimate royal pasta. Come on! So, first up, very, very simple. I've got some rosemary here, I've got a lovely duck, a little olive oil, a nice pinch of salt and pepper, and we'll have a little massage up all around the duck, on all sides, the legs, swap it around. This is going to go into an oven at 180 degrees Celsius, that's 350 Fahrenheit, for 2 hours. And what you'll get is tender legs, just falling off the bone. The breast meat will be cooked through and the skin will be crispy, crispy, crispy.
Later on, I'll be using the duck in a tasty ragu. But for now, I'm just going to put him in the oven and forget about him.
Next, I'm going to wash my hands. We're going to make royal pasta. Why royal? It's called royal because basically this is the pasta for kings. It's the ultimate pasta. Now, you can use dried pasta, you can use pre-bought fresh pasta, but let me show you how to make it.
Making a luxurious pasta dough is much easier than you might think.
I've got 400 grams of Tipo 00 flour. Now, this is a plain flour. Tipo 00 means it's very fine. You can get it in all the supermarkets, no worries at all. I'm gonna make a well in the middle.
Dip 75 grams of semolina into the flour to give the pasta colour and bite. Then add just the yolks of a dozen eggs.
It's gonna be rich and silky, and it will blow your mind.
Mix the yolks into the semolina and flour, gradually bringing it all together.
Making pasta completely changed my life as a chef, as a cook. And just putting flour and liquid together, be it eggs or water, you know, all those shapes, all those sizes, that whole world of creativity that you can do for dinner, and then you can eat it. Brilliant. It's basically grown-up Play-Doh. And the whole point is it's supposed to be messy. Just add a little bit of water, just to loosen it up a bit. As it comes together, it will start to clean the board. What we want to do is create a lovely elastic dough. And when it's smooth, you're done. Look at that. This is gorgeous, yellow, it's smooth, and it's been well kneaded.
The dough just needs to be wrapped in cling film and left in the fridge to relax.
Now go away for 2 hours, don't think about anything, and we'll come back and we'll do the next part.
A good lasagna may take a while, but taking the time to get each of its stages just right and having a little potter about in between is all part of the joy of making this dish.
Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. After 2 hours, you do get a lovely crispy skin. You can see here all the fat that's cooked out of it. Look at it. Don't throw it away. Get yourself a little heat-proof jar. I've just gone around the garden and picked a couple of herbs. Whatever you like, some rosemary, sage leaves, just in there like that. If you just pour some of that fat over the top. See that? You put that in the fridge and it will go like a block and it will keep for months and months and months. And then you just take a teaspoon of that, roast potatoes, starting off a shepherd's pie. Ooh, you know, even cooking a piece of fish, pork chop, rubbed over a roast chicken is ridiculous. So don't ever throw that stuff away.
Something else you mustn't throw away is that crispy skin, which I want to use in a crunchy breadcrumb topping for the lasagna.
I'm going to remove every last bit of skin, but where I'm going to remove it is to here. I'm going to do this thing called pan grattata. It's like crispy bits, the ultimate croutons, the ultimate breadcrumbs. This is just some old stale bread, 200 grams. In there, you can put some rosemary, a couple of sprigs. That's going to give it a nice flavour. And what I'm going to do is just strip the skin in to that breadcrumbs. Just pull it off the wing. There's a bit of meat in there as well, that won't hurt. Let's go to the breast. All of this, just pull it. And it comes off. You see how easy that comes off? This is gonna be ridiculous. Turn it around. That's gonna make the most incredible topping. Think crumble, but savoury.
To finish the pan grattata, just blitz the bread, herbs and duck skin, season and fry until golden. Then put to one side until the lasagna's cooked.
Let's get this ragu going. You know, lasagna needs that classic ragu happening in the pan.
Start with 2 tablespoons of duck fat, then add 1 onion, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 carrots and 2 sticks of celery, all finely chopped.
As this fries off, I want to add a couple of little interesting ingredients. First up, we're just going to put some fresh bay leaf in there. 2 or 3 leaves, they'll come out later. I've got some cloves here, just 2 or 3 little cloves. This gives the duck an incredible flavour in this ragu. You can just squash it with a knife. You can chop it up a little bit. The cloves and the red wine and the duck, phenomenal.
Leave the veg to fry gently for around 20 minutes, giving them a stir every now and again.
Now the duck that's left here, I want to pull the meat off the bone. You can see how tender that is. You'd be amazed how much meat actually comes off a duck. This will be enough to feed 8 to 10 people. So this meat will go a long, long way. What I want to do now is turn up the heat, and I'm going to add about 200 mils of Chianti Classico. Cook it away. Don't have it sloshing about because it will taste winey. The wine's almost gone away. It's ruby red. You just know it's going to be outrageous. So now we go in with the duck. Rich, rich meat. So that kisses all of that veg. Then we're going to get some lovely tin tomatoes in there. Look at the richness of that.
4 tins of good quality whole plum tomatoes, broken up, and a tin full of water that's deglazed the roasting tray. And that's the ragu all ready to simmer on a low to medium heat for an hour.
This lasagna, like many lasagnas, is an assembly of parts, okay? Many things that you care for coming together as this thing that we all love. I'm gonna put a pan on here. It's got some duck fat in there. And we're gonna do the spinach. I'm gonna put in a couple of ingredients to make spinach beyond beautiful. Sweet marjoram here, and you can buy this in the markets. Or in the garden, this just grows and grows and grows. It's worth planting. Golden marjoram, and of course you can see it's very, very beautiful. For whatever reason, they're best mates with spinach.
When the pan is hot, go in with 2 cloves of finely sliced garlic,
Keep your eye sharp. I do not want burnt garlic.
the chopped marjoram,
So just jiggle the pan.
then 800 grams of fresh spinach.
Keep moving it. So this spinach here is going to be like part of the layers of the lasagna, intense and dark. And when you cook spinach like this as a side dish or in lasagna, it's incredible. There's one other thing you can do that I dearly love to make the ultimate spinach, and that's nutmeg. How is it that 10 little scrapes of a funny little nut thing can transform a whole veg dish?
Once the moisture is cooked away, season with salt and pepper.
So that can go to the side.
I'm nearly ready to assemble my lasagna, but there's just one job left to do, the white sauce. Simply melt 100 grams of butter and stir in 100 grams of plain flour to make a roux. Then whisk in a litre of milk a little at a time until you have a thick white sauce.
Let's let that simmer away, and I'll show you how to make it taste super delicious. And it's no great surprise, we're using cheese. So first up, Parmesan. Second up, cheddar. And then over here, a little fontina. A fantastic Italian cheese that is kind of a bit more bendy, and it melts beautiful, and it gives you that incredible texture. So just season that white sauce with this cheese.
Grate a 150 gram mixture of the cheeses and take your white sauce off the heat.
I'm gonna go straight in with that lovely blend of cheese. Really, you should do this to your taste, okay? You want it to have some funk, some power, and you can blend those cheeses to suit you. Now, let's have a little taste. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just a little bit of Parmesan, and that is gorgeous. A very delicious, quite painless white sauce to make. We've got the spinach, we've got the ragu. Let's let that tick over for another half an hour, and then let's come back and make that incredible lasagna amazing. So the love, care and dedication that we've done so far has all come to this moment where we put it all together.
First, I need to roll my pasta into long, thin sheets. Then cut them to fit the dish.
Like that. We're going to do our layers now. I don't want big chunky layers. I want delicate little layers and lots of pasta in between. So spinach goes out. Then we go with our beautiful pasta, just like that. Tuck it in. Then we're going to go ragu. Just push the sauce here and there. Then we're going to go white sauce. The smells are amazing. Take your time, do a nice job, take pride in it. Just carry on repeating that process until you get to the very end. You've got guaranteed big flavors, guaranteed happy people here. And then one last layer of that incredible cheese white sauce goes on top. And that is the beautiful duck lasagna. It's going to be epic. 30 to 40 minutes, in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit, and then we'll serve. Have a look at that. Beautiful crispy duck lasagna. Bubbling away around the edges. That white sauce has protected it all. Everything cooked into each other. And then look, we got those crispy bits right here. Just sprinkle them on the top, kind of like a crumble. You can hear it sizzling.
Leave the lasagna to sit for 15 minutes to cool down. That way, each portion will hold together nicely when you serve it.
You can just see how lovely it is inside there. Crispy duck lasagna. That's what we want. Those lovely crispy bits. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's have a little taste. The way it just holds together is phenomenal. So rich. All the elements working really well together. Those sweet tomatoes, the Chianti, the spinach. Oh. So good. Lasagnas will never, ever be the same again.
For selected recipes, please go to jamieoliver.com/comfort food. Still to come, my mum's helping me make an old school British favourite, sticky toffee pudding.
Ultimately, the whole point of desserts is to lift the spirit. And what is going to lift the spirit more than just filling up a hole with caramel sauce?
And another Italian classic, Osso buco.
This is what we're looking for. Sizzle, colour, caramelisation. Oh.
We all know that every now and again there's nothing like a sweet treat to make you happy. And what I'm going to show you now is a pudding that's always going to put a smile on your face. It's one that I've loved since I was a child, so I'm going to make it with a woman who first made it for me, my mum.
I have never met anyone that doesn't like this dessert, have you?
No.
We're going to make sticky toffee pudding. This lovely lady, my mother, she used to make this at least twice a month when I was a kid.
We loved it with lots of custard.
Custard, ice cream, or cream. Unbelievable.
My version's packed with flavours of sugar and spice, the very best quality dates, and, unusually, a hint of Earl Grey tea. Dates are the central ingredient of a sticky toffee pudding, so if you want a great pud, you've got to have great dates.
These medjool dates, they might just look like regular dates, but they're so meaty and sweet and delicious, and they have the most outrageous sort of caramelly flavour. Now, we had dates, obviously, when I was a kid.
Only at Christmas.
But they were like a bit drier, a bit more, like...
crusty.
Yeah, they weren't as lovely as that. Get the stone out and get the little cap bit at the top off. We don't want that. So Mum's going to motor through those.
The stones need to be removed from 450 grams of dates. To soften them and give them an even better flavour, I'm going to soak them in tea.
Mum, you probably won't be expecting this. Earl Grey tea bags.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cover 4 tea bags with 300 millilitres of boiling water and leave to steep for 3.5 minutes. Add the destoned dates to a blender with a level teaspoon of cinnamon and half a grated nutmeg. Then pour the Earl Grey tea onto the dates and let them sit for 10 minutes with the lid on.
So, Mum, creaming. You all right to do it?
Yeah, I'm good at creaming.
So we're going to go in with 170 grams of butter, and then I'm going to follow that with 170 grams of golden caster sugar. Really, really important, muscovado sugar. This is going to give it its fudgy, sticky toffee puddingness. So in with 170 grams of that. The point of creaming is that we're dissolving the sugar and we're beating air into it. And of course, the butter has got...
Can you do this in a machine?
You can do it in a machine. My mummy's right. Mum used to do the best dinners. Pretty much every week she'd do a steamed pudding, syrup pudding, chocolate pudding, jam pudding, roly-poly. Quite old-fashioned British ones, really.
Yeah, I used to, well, you all used to like it, didn't you?
Yeah, it was lovely. So Mum's done the hard bit. Do you want me to take over?
Yeah.
So look, we'll give this a good old beat up. Mum, if you can get around there and crack in 4 eggs, one at a time.
Once all 4 eggs are beaten in, gently fold 340 grams of self-raising flour into the mixture. Then blend the tea-soaked dates until smooth.
Pour in the lovely date mixture. Thank you, Mum. There's something really special that happens between the dates and the spice and the sugar.
Lovely.
We're folding all that in. Oh, Mum, smell that.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Mum, that bundt tin over there, can you just grab a little bit of butter, put it on your hand, and just rub it all around that mould? It's a nice little technique if you're ever worried about a mould or a baking dish. Just rub it with oil or butter, and then we take some flour. Thank you, Mama. And then we'll just put in the flour and just shake it around, and the flour will stick to the butter. So that's what it looks like there. Double security.
Pour the mixture into your mould.
Just turn it round.
Yeah, please. That's it. Thank you, Mum.
I like to use a ring-shaped bundt tin for this pud, but doing it as a tray bake also works. Put it into the oven to bake for 45 to 50 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius and don't touch it.
While that's cooking, I'm just going to knock up a quick sauce. So, Mum, in here, what we have is 250 grams of butter and 250 grams of sugar. And as you can see, I've got half golden sugar and half muscovado as well. So as soon as that sugar starts to dissolve, I'm going to add in some rum. Did you ever put rum in your sticky toffee pudding?
No, I didn't.
It's nice. I love rum. Do you like rum?
Yeah, I love anything.
Alcoholic?
Alcoholic. No.
She's not an alcoholic, don't worry.
Add 50 ml of rum to your pan. To flambe it, carefully angle the pan towards the flame. Setting it alight will burn off the alcohol and enhance all the flavours of the sauce. Finally, add 300 ml of double cream.
We'll give you the most incredible sticky toffee pudding sauce. And I'm just going to swill it about now. Look at the way it changes. And you get a lovely, shiny, caramelly sauce. Mum, try that. It's not too hot. I love it. The rum is brilliant.
Oh, wow, yeah, it is. That's really different.
When those little bubbles come up like that, then we switch the gas off. Have a look at that sticky toffee pudding, Mum. No, don't open the door.
Oh.
God.
Oh, no, I did, didn't I?
You did.
Oh, my God. It's all sunk. I got you.
Should we have a cup of tea?
Yeah.
The illustrious sticky toffee pudding. Beautiful sponge. Smells lovely. 1, 2, 3. Go on.
Oh, that's lovely. Look at the steam.
Now a trick that transforms the pudding, painting it.
Yeah, I'm going to grab this brush. As you put this incredible sauce on top, it kind of seals it and it stops it getting dry and it gets shinier and shinier and shinier, which is amazing.
The thin layer of sauce gives the pud a crispy toffee crust, which is delicious.
It's just a piece of art, that's the thing.
You can't have too much of that sauce, can you?
No.
Why don't you just put it in the middle?
Do you think I should?
It'd be lovely.
No, that's good.
That's what I would do.
Well, look, this whole dish is an evolution. Should we do it?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, the whole point of desserts is to lift the spirit. And what is going to lift the spirit more than just filling up a hole with caramel sauce?
I think that's really nice.
There is one last thing I'm going to do. We're just going to put a little salt on top. It's just that whole kind of thing about the palate just exploding, that salt and sweet.
I love salted caramel.
So there you go, Mama. The ultimate sticky toffee pudding. Can you grab me that chopper from over there? Let's have a little portion up. And as we take this, it's just going to gush out. Ah. Go on. Okay.
This looks amazing. Oh.
Now can you tell why I brushed the outside? It's like crispy hard.
Gorgeous.
You like?
Yeah, amazing.
It's definitely not the most healthy dessert on the planet, but life without sticky toffee pudding ain't really worth living, is it? Thanks, Mum. It's been nice cooking that with you.
For selected recipes, please go to jamieoliver.com/comfort food. Next, something a bit different from Italy. Served with saffron risotto, it's a very special veal dish, Osso buco.
Double pleasure. Every country has its comfort food dishes that are cherished by the people who live there, but aren't so famous elsewhere just yet. My final recipe is for one of those, and it's a real big hitter in Italy. The dish I'm doing now is the great Osso buco, a fantastic, romantic, elegant Italian dish. Unbelievable. If you've never had it, this is a great comfort food. With meltingly tender braised veal, sitting on top of golden saffron risotto. Osso buco is a dish that I think deserves to be better known around the world. Osso buco translates, in Essex, as bone with a hole. Not quite as romantic, so we'll keep it Italian for now. But it refers to this cut. This is shin of veal. This is rose veal from Britain. Really good, totally sustainable, really ethical from the dairy industry, so please support it. This cut is through the shin, okay, through the bone. So this bone will give you an incredible roast beef flavour. Unbelievable.
If you haven't bought this cut of meat before, simply ask your butcher for one cross-cut veal shank per person.
Here in the middle, this is the bone marrow. That is kind of like the power of 5 stock cubes, but natural. Also, these little white connective tissues here would normally, in fast cooking, make the meat tough. But in slow cooking, nuh-uh. It's gonna give you tenderness and stickiness, and it will naturally baste the meat as it cooks. So this cut, genius, and the recipe, as elegant as and wonderful as it is so simple. Pan, high heat.
Start by seasoning both sides of the meat with salt, pepper and a grating of nutmeg. Then dust with flour.
And then I'm going to go in with our lovely shin of veal. And I want intense colouring, caramelisation.
A few mixed herbs in the pan will add extra flavour.
I highly advise you, wherever you live, block of flats, small back garden, whatever, please grow herbs. They're such a wonderful thing. But just by laying a bay leaf in there, a little oregano, it's just going to give a lot of love. So let's have a little jiggle around. Very exciting cooking. Looks great, sounds great, smells incredible. Let's turn this over. This is what we're looking for. Sizzle, colour, character, caramelisation. We're going to put it back on the other side. Oh.
Once the meat is browned on both sides, take it out and pour away the fat, but don't clean the pan.
See these? This is all this stickiness here. That's all flavour. Right, time to cut some veg.
To make the base for the liquor in which the veal will braise, finely chop 2 onions, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 carrots and 2 sticks of celery.
I think sometimes people think celery is a bit of an added extra. It's a really good, fragrant vegetable. One thing you can do, click it at the end here, like that, and you can just pull those fibres off. Like that, see that? Beautiful.
Add some finely chopped rosemary, season and cook down slowly.
And you can see that humidity created by the veg has already cleaned the bottom of the pan. The pan's got no gnarly bits anymore. That's all surrounding around the veg, and that's all flavour, by the way. So, time for a little bit of alcohol. Traditionally, they'd use a nice white wine. Good Italian Soave or something like that would be brilliant. I'm trading up for a little bit of rosé today because the sun is out and I want about 200 millilitres. So I'm just going to cook that away. You can hear that sound change. The wine's gone, but the love and care is in there. Next ingredient, a blushing of tomato puree. So let's get this party going. Let's get these beautiful shins of veal back in and around the pan. Nice and snug, guys. And then all those gorgeous resting juices go in.
Pour in a litre of chicken stock and bring it to the boil.
There you go. Turn it off. No more boiling now. We're just going to slow cook from now on. We want all the goodness and flavour kept in here. I want to tuck it into bed, so a little bit of greaseproof paper, fold it in half, and in half, and in half, and in half, point it into the middle, and just tear. And that's sort of like your sheet. And then tin foil, that's your duvet. A double piece of tin foil. Get it nice and pinched up there. We want to create a little environment where it's its own little ecosystem where the steam comes up and then hits the top and goes back down again, and the flavours just sort of tenderise the meat and don't escape into the wider world. So I'm now going to cook that for 2 hours at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit. I really won't touch it. I might give it a little jiggle, but that's about it. Osso buco in the oven. Happy days.
After a good hour and a half, it's time to make the risotto to go with the osso buco. First, get a high-sided, sturdy pot.
You don't want it to be a frying pan because it evaporates the liquid, the stock, too much, and it makes it too strong. You can have stock too strong.
My risotto will be made Milanese style with saffron.
I'm going to be fairly generous, but really even a small pinch is absolutely fine.
To release the saffron's earthy flavour and vibrant colour, cover it with hot stock and leave it to steep for 5 minutes.
This will go golden, golden, golden. Beautiful.
Now, the base for the risotto. Finely chop 1 onion and 1 celery heart and cook until soft.
Next ingredient is the rice itself.
Put in 450 grams of arborio.
Just turn the heat up a tiny bit.
Then a glass of white or rosé wine. And keep stirring until it's all been absorbed.
Now we're going to go in with the first ladle of chicken stock. And by not adding too much stock, the risotto grains are all kind of like bashing up against each other. That starch is getting massaged out, and that's part of the ritual.
Add the stock a ladle at a time, letting the rice absorb it each time before adding more.
Make sure you use your wooden spoon to really get into all the cracks and crannies.
Next, the saffron.
Absolutely gorgeous. And this will completely transform this humble white risotto into a thing fit for kings. This is a million miles away from putting a pack in the microwave and press go. Look at the colour. It's cooked, it's tender, but it's still holding its shape in the most beautiful way, and that's great. So at this stage, heat off.
Grate in around 70 grams of Parmesan, add a good knob of butter and 1 last ladle of stock.
Remember, we don't want it to be dry. It's got to be oozy. It's got to be like lava. It's got to be like porridge, just silky and oozy. Beat, 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 around the edges with a spatula so it's all nice and clean.
And then a little trick that I learnt from a nonna in Italy. Put the lid on and just leave it to sit for 2 minutes. This makes the rice extra creamy.
And then I want one last thing for the osso buco. It's called gremolata.
For an instant hit of fresh flavour to cut through the richness of the meat and sauce. Gremolata is parsley, garlic and lemon zest, all finely chopped together.
Gremolata done. A sea of gold. So exciting. And I'll just take little knobs of butter. But let's have a look at this. 2 hours of love, and our little bed that we made for it comes off. And look at that. Get half of your gremolata and just sprinkle it from a height. As soon as it hits the heat, pong, garlic, lemon zest, parsley. Yeah! Let's plate it up. I'm gonna go in and get some osso buco. Beautiful. Gorgeous cooking juices go over the top. Just a little long stroke of Parmesan. Osso buco Milanese. First up, a bit of risotto with that gravy on the end. Double pleasure. And then you go into the meat. See how tender that is. Look, just breaking up. Don't even have to try. Just falls apart. Oh. And the marrow here, look, that's got incredible flavour. It was all about this, wasn't it? It's all about cooking that meat on the bone really slowly. Wonderful. And if you've never had it, that's got to be on the bucket list. Absolutely gorgeous.
For selected recipes, please go to jamieoliver.com/comfort food.